What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the Game Room Podcast. I'm your host, Rome, alongside with my good friend Jeffrey Vegas. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Hopefully, I don't die through this episode. That's
Yeah,
the
my
hope.
my only complaint would be I am freezing, so I got like two jackets on. Kind of looks pretty funny, but explaining why right off the bat.
Yeah, you look super like pumped up tonight. You look like you look very bundled up. You look
Yeah.
there. You look
Yep.
But no, we have a really fun show for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about the Game Awards, both the award winners and the announcements, giving our takes on that stuff. We're also going to be doing the ongoing update on the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition. We have some spicy stuff that came down the pipeline this past week, Jeff. So we have some nice updates on that, among with a few other things. So Jeff,
Awesome.
you ready to dive right in?
Absolutely, because I stayed off Twitter a lot this week, so kind of glad you're about to fill me in as well.
All right. Well, let's get into it. We're going to open up with all the Microsoft updates because I felt like usually when I'm making the show, getting ready for the week, um, usually there's about 4 or 5 different things that come up about this one topic. So I kind of bunch them together in my script. So we're going to start with those.
Okay.
So, first of all, for those who have not heard, the FTC has sued to block Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. This comes after last week, after we had picked up on the New York Post reporting that they may not do so due to political rift inside the FTC, but that obviously was not meant to be. Basically, Microsoft's biggest acquisition has hit with a snag once again. The Federal Trade Commission, the U.S. regulatory authority, announced on Thursday that it is suing to block Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. The deal, valued at almost $69 billion, would see Microsoft add Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, and King to the existing Xbox first party development teams. In its press release, the FTC points to Microsoft making Starfield and Redfall exclusive games as a reason that Microsoft cannot be trusted in this instance. Both games in development at Bethesda and Arcane Austin, respectively, are new IPs that are being developed exclusively for Xbox Series consoles as well as Windows PC. The FTC says Microsoft has already shown that it can and will withhold content from its gaming rivals, said Holly Vadova, director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition. Today, we seek to stop Microsoft from gaining control over a leading independent game studio and using it to harm competition in multiple dynamic and fast growing markets. So, Jeff, as you can see, the FTC is trying to block the acquisition. Now, here's the thing. When I first read this, my initial thought was, but Xbox never said that Bethesda, like when Xbox purchased Bethesda, they said that they would honor some legacy content to other platforms. However, new releases and new IPs would be on a per case basis. So at no point did Microsoft ever claim that these Bethesda games were going to, not be exclusives. So when reading this, that's what I had thought. And then, Jeff, a weird turn of events happened. So the EU, which is already challenging this acquisition, has replied to the FTC's filing, making it very clear that Microsoft actually never offered concessions for the Bethesda agreement. Long story short, the EU said Microsoft didn't make any commitments to EU regulators not to release Xbox exclusive content following its takeover of ZeniMax Media. Um,
Huh.
so basically, what the FTC is suing Microsoft over is a blatant lie, because the EU, which is already scrutinizing the deal, is saying I don't know why the FTC is challenging on that perspective because it has no legs to stand on. Um,
Really?
so
Wow.
yeah, it was a really weird twist of events where the EU came in and they're already battling this battle right now, and they come in and they say like, no, that's not true. That's not true. Um,
That's funny that they actually came to the defense, even though they're kind of on the same side.
Right. It was a really weird happenstance. And another thing that I did some digging, and the FTC did not file this lawsuit in federal court. It filed the lawsuit in their own administrative court. So basically, they can't block the merger from happening because they didn't take it to federal court. So,
Okay.
very interesting turn of events here with the FTC suing Microsoft. Um, what's your take on all this?
Man, I don't even know anymore. It's just something new every day with this whole thing. Like, I feel like I would have to actually sit down and like really update myself on the facts on both sides, you know?
Well, we have more news about this, some of which came out today, some of it didn't. Basically, so that came out on Thursday. Around the same time, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, announced a 10-year agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo consoles as soon as the acquisition goes through.
Yeah.
Microsoft officially entered this 10-year commitment. Phil Spencer shared the news on Twitter, saying, "I'm also pleased to confirm." So originally, he tweets that he is committing to continue to bring Call of Duty to Steam even after the acquisition. He said that we've made it clear to Steam, Gabe Newell, that we will continue to bring Call of Duty to Steam, you know, in the future, giving a 10-year commitment. He also then followed up and tweeted it and said, "I'm also pleased to confirm that Microsoft has committed to continue to offer." Oh, this is the Steam tweets. Offer Call of Duty on Steam simultaneously to Xbox after we have closed the merger. And then there was a follow-up tweet trying to find it. Basically, he says that we've also made a deal with Nintendo where Call of Duty, once this deal kicks in, we will start putting Call of Duties out on the Switch or Nintendo platforms, not the Switch specifically.
Yeah.
But and Phil Spencer says we've made it clear to Activision Blizzard the intentions of this deal, and they are already putting early preparations in place to get Call of Duty on Nintendo consoles.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, that's going to be their saving grace, I think, when this all goes to court. I think that'll be the thing that they can point to and be like, listen, look at what we just did with Nintendo. We made an agreement. Why would we want to make it? We're not going to make it exclusive. And that's going to be their proof right there, you know, and it's going to kind of have a bunch of mumbles in the room like, wow, that really makes them look stupid because, you know, they're sharing it with everybody.
Now, keep in mind, Xbox has also offered this 10-year deal to PlayStation, and they've yet to accept. There's more to the PlayStation deal that has been announced or offered, which we'll get to in a little bit. However, we did. Gabe Newell, the head of Steam, gave a statement to Kotaku saying, "We're happy that Microsoft wants to continue using Steam to reach customers with Call of Duty when their Activision acquisition closes. Microsoft has been on Steam for a long time, and we take it as a signal that they are happy with gamers' reception to that and the work we are doing. Our job is to keep building valuable features for not only Microsoft, but all Steam customers and partners. Microsoft offered and even sent us a draft agreement for a long-term Call of Duty commitment. But it wasn't necessary for us because A, we're not believers in requiring any partner to have an agreement that locks them to shipping games on Steam into the distant future. B, Phil Spencer and the games team at Microsoft have always followed through on what they told us they would do, so we trust their intentions. And C, we think Microsoft has all the motivation they need to be on the platforms and devices where Call of Duty customers want to be."
Yeah, I mean, why would you limit yourself on where your customers can access your product? That's just, it doesn't sound like a good,
You're right. So,
Jeff, business practice.
Basically, like Gabe Newell coming out of the cave, because no one talks about Gabe Newell anymore. Steam stopped making games, and he's just like in a freaking cave somewhere. Gabe Newell comes out of the cave and just fucking knocks this one right out of the park. Just saying, we've worked with Xbox team for a long time. They clearly have no intention. Like they're going to do what they say they want to do, and that's why we don't need this commitment. We appreciate the thought though. But yeah, really, really funny stuff going on there.
All right.
All right. So a little bit more stuff about this. This one actually came out about 3 hours ago. So this is kind of a fresh news for you.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. The CMA has published a response to the Microsoft Activision merger from an unknown market participant labeled Market Participant A, largely backing Microsoft's deal and calling on the CMA to protect consumers and, quote, not to preserve the status quo of competitors. Um, so this is actually I found this super fascinating, really wondering, I would love to know who this market participant is. You would have to think it's probably a publisher. Maybe it's Epic Games, because they have the Epic Game Store. But somebody in the industry, that's not Xbox, is calling for the CMA to let this deal go through.
Yeah, when people are mysteriously anonymous like that, it makes me like, I'm like, does this person exist or did someone just create the story? Like you can almost never tell, you just kind of have to take it at face value.
Well, I would
And
argue that this was a filing with the CMA. This was filed to the CMA, and I feel
mhm.
like the CMA wouldn't publish this because like the CMA like officially released that this was given to
Oh,
them.
okay. Okay.
This is verified to the CMA that this is somebody.
Okay, so they probably know who
Oh yeah,
Marketplace A is. Okay.
yes,
That's a different story
they
then. If
know.
someone's got a real gripe, I would just challenge them with, okay, prove your point. Prove how this is going to be bad for the consumer and not,
Yeah, I
good for
mean,
everybody involved. That's where I'm
yeah.
at.
So it's definitely interesting stuff. Um,
Hmm.
let's see here. So this also came out today. Actually, this also came out about 2 or 3 hours ago. So breaking news again. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Bloomberg is reporting that in their latest effort, Microsoft's Call of Duty deal to Sony now includes the right for Sony to put Call of Duty on their PlayStation Plus subscription service, along with it being on Game Pass. Sony has still not accepted the deal, according to Bloomberg. So basically, Microsoft is just making this deal better. So not only like they're leveling the playing field here. They're saying, okay, if you're arguing that Call of Duty on Game Pass is going to hurt you, you can put Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus. So
Well, they keep making offers to them, but they're already like in litigation. So PlayStation's just like they got a wall up. They're not even listening right now. You know what I mean? They're just like, we're going through this court dealings first.
I guess so, but
Yeah.
this at the end of the day, while I don't think Microsoft really has an issue with doing it, period, altogether, otherwise they wouldn't do it. I think it definitely comes down to they're just trying to make the regulators understand that they're not going to. They're trying like they want Call of Duty to be available. It's the same thing as Minecraft. We've talked about it week in and week out. These big franchises like Call of Duty and Minecraft that make billions of dollars, they want these to be everywhere. Are they going to probably bring back Crash Band or Spyro or Crash Bandicoot and make those exclusive someday? Sure, that's probably going to happen. There are going to be Activision IP that do end up being exclusive to Xbox. But Call of Duty, no, you're not going to see that exclusive to Xbox.
No, yeah, I don't see that happening. You just there's too much money to be made on the other consoles.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then lastly, a little shot taken, not really a news, but something that happened. Phil Spencer was on the Second Request podcast, in which case, oh no, there's an ad playing on that link. Let's not do that. Basically, Phil Spencer was saying that Xbox is in the business of trying to make themselves better, whereas PlayStation, they make themselves better by trying to make the competition worse off. It's dueling philosophies, and some people like one, some people like the other. I'm always of the opinion, help yourself before you hurt the guy next to you, but that's just always been the way I've looked at it.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, fun stuff. So Jeff, that's the update for the Activision Blizzard stuff. You know what's funny? It's really really funny. So this deal got announced like way earlier this year, like February-ish, something like that, right? And there was like no news, like for months.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I had totally forgotten about it. Remember, you were kind of
yeah,
like, dude, how'd you not know about this? And I'm like, ah.
right. But there was like no news for months, Jeff. And as soon as we started the Game Room podcast, every week
It just
there's
started spilling.
there's something worth talking about
Mm-hmm.
every week. So they must know. They're helping us out here on the Game Room podcast.
Absolutely.
The Trading Doge is in the chat. What up, Trading Doge?
He put that in there way earlier when he heard the initial filing of the
yeah, the FTC.
yeah.
Yeah. But
With
fun
the
stuff
court.
though. But what up to everybody watching us live here on the Game Room Podcast? Please leave a like if you're in here, and if you're in the chat, hit us up, talk to us. How you feeling about the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition? I think this is a story that I can't wait to get behind us, but gonna keep reporting it because that's what we do. We're doing the news. All right, next up, we have a surprise new Halo Infinite December update, which added a custom games browser along with several cross-core codings. Came out last week, and then their new December update patch. 343 Industries has updated its live service sci-fi shooter Halo Infinite with a variety of significant content additions and improvements.
Forge.
Most notably, the custom games browser has been released and is now available in the community tab of the main menu. This tool allows players to search and join custom games being hosted by other players, which makes enjoying the best Forge maps significantly easier and more intuitive. Excuse me. Custom Games Browser wasn't expected to release until the start of Season 3 next March, so its arrival now comes as a huge surprise to the fan base. Additionally, all the game's Armor Core cosmetic unlocks, including cores that were exclusive to limited time events, have been unlocked for all players. Other than that, there was a bunch of
Nice.
various small improvements, but yeah, Halo Infinite, man, it's getting its legs underneath it finally after what was a rough year with them getting this content out the door.
Yeah. So you did mention the Forge, but they did release the Forge where you can create your own maps as well, like building a map from the ground up. You ever messed around with that before?
Not in Halo Infinite, but back in the day, mostly Halo 3. But I'm more of
Dude,
I wanna try out people's creations than create my own maps. That's just kind of my
yeah.
style. Um, but it's just Forge is just a mainstay of the Halo franchise, and to see them finally get it in there and people are just loving it, like it makes me really happy to see it because like when I played Halo Infinite when it came out, it was met kind of cold. I enjoyed the campaign. I enjoyed the multiplayer too, but I was kind of bummed with how I felt like the response in the community was kind of cold, understandably. But
Yeah.
nice to see all these things being added in now, and I'm very happy for them.
Yep.
All right, Jeff. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. How have you been enjoying Modern Warfare 2, sir?
Um, I've been enjoying it a lot besides the still the looting problems that I have. I know you don't have them too often, but drives me crazy. We've been getting a lot of wins. You and I, man, we were the last two left in our squad. Smashed that game. We got the win. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
I think right after that, you went to bed. Right after that, you went out on top. We didn't win that next game, but I had 10 kills. That was my personal best. I was like freaking out. I was like, holy shit, I'm at 9. And I got one more dude, and then someone sniped me, and that was it. So 10, my new personal best.
nice. Well, if you're looking for more Modern Warfare 2 content, Jeff, you won't have to wait much longer as Season 1 Reloaded launches December 14th, which is Wednesday. Um,
Yeah. I can't
so
wait for my stats.
So that was the first thing I was going to mention. The
Yeah.
combat records coming to Warzone. Unfortunately, it does not count existing stats leading up to the 14th. So any wins, kills, all that stuff will not be trackable. Basically, it'll be a clean slate of stats for Warzone 2 on the 14th. Kind of a bummer, but I mean, it is what it is.
I'm actually I'm actually okay with that because I've spent a lot of time leveling up guns and my KD in like multiplayer is destroyed from doing some certain guns, you know what I mean? So I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, dude, reset my stats. Thank you.
Well, it's not resetting the multiplayer; it's just resetting Warzone.
Aw.
And so your point 0.5 KD is still there, Jeff.
It's like 9-2.
Okay, I'm just messing with you.
I know. It's not horrible, but
No, it's all right. My KD's going down too because I'm working on my gold guns,
yeah.
and the first 10 guns I liked using a lot. The next 10, they've been more of a challenge. So I've been in, my KD has gone down a little bit. I don't remember what it is. It was a few days ago I looked at it. It was still positive, but it's
Yeah.
it's dipping. It's getting down. Anyways, let's talk about season 1 Reloaded. The following comes from Call of Duty's official blog. Round up the squad or prepare to infiltrate solo. Season 1 Reloaded, the mid-season update for Call of Duty Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, will arrive on December 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific, following a patch to both games. To celebrate this new update, Double XP and Double Weapon XP will be active across all platforms during its extended launch weekend. PlayStation owners will have extra Double XP because PlayStation paid for it. That yeah, but Xbox locking content bad.
Yeah.
And what a world we live in, Jeff. Let me tell you. Anyways, prior to the launch of Season 1 Reloaded, expect patch notes with details on all technical changes, including major fixes and balance tuning. Raven Software will handle the Warzone 2.0 updates, and Infinity War will detail changes to Modern Warfare 2 and the Warzone DMZ beta. Major patch notes updates can be found on the official blog. Highlights. Let's see here. For Modern Warfare 2, raids are coming, which was also announced at the Game Awards. Atomgrad is the first Spec Ops raid. Grab 2 of your best squad mates and help Price, Farah, and Gaz uncover the secrets held within a highly fortified enemy facility. Now, raids, you're going to have to actually do well enough in something to be able to do the raid. I don't remember what the criteria is for everything, but I know in Warzone 2, I think you have to like finish top 10 or something to be able to do the raid.
I believe it's top 20, but I would rather it be top 10, to be honest.
Yeah, I think top 10 makes more sense. Also coming to the multiplayer is Shipment, the classic Call of Duty map that's been around since Call of Duty 4. Me personally, not a fan of Shipment. I don't like the smaller maps. I think that it's great for leveling up your guns, but I don't find them fun. I feel like you're just spawning and dying. Even the people that get a lot of kills, they end up dying a lot. I don't know. It's never been very appealing to me, but a lot of people like Shipment. That's coming on Wednesday as well.
I like Shipment only because it's not Shoot House. That's all I can say. When I'm trying to level up guns, that's why I like Shipment.
Yeah, I would say I like Shoot House more because it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more open. Again,
Yeah.
Shipment just feels really claustrophobic. It was like Rust in Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2. Like it's an iconic map, but it's like I don't know. It's just I don't find it fun. I like to try to kill while not dying, not kill and die. Um, Dying is not fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see what else is going on here. It looks like, yep, preparing for the raid. It is the top 20. You are correct. You can also complete a specific daily challenge in multiplayer Spec Ops. In DMZ, you can use the final extract helicopter with at least $30,000 in cash to get the raid. You can access the raid for a full week. They recommend you warming up in Spec Ops and using your tier kits to get ready for that. Let's see. Shipment will also come as a holiday shipment. It's basically Christmas themed up until January 4th, and then it'll just be regular shipment. Warzone 2 overview updates. Building 21. Find a way into this restricted, redacted, and redacted. Ooh, spicy. I like that. Warzone Mini Royale available for a limited time. Get those squad goals in on a virtual pitch or feel the intensity of a more condensed battle royale in these limited time playlist offerings. Again, I like the bigger maps, so I mean I probably won't spend a lot of time in Mini Royale, but I'm sure somebody will be into that. They will also be adding, as I said, Building 21, which will be a new area in Al Mazrah. It seems like
Nice.
that will also be added to the DMZ mode as well. They will also be adding the previously announced that we talked about COD Ball, which is kind of seems like it's like one of those soccer modes.
It's gonna be like Lucio Ball from Overwatch, if anybody has played that.
But so I mean that's the general overview. There's also going to be 2 new operators coming, Gaz and Klaus or Klaus. Basically, Klaus is
Klaus.
Santa. He looks like a
Yeah,
mean
he does. He
Santa.
looks like Santa.
Yeah. Klaus Fisker or Klaus Fisker. They will also be adding a new weapon, the Chimera, which is a new assault rifle, part of the Bruin Ops platform. Offers operators a formidable primary weapon for stealth engagements.
Okay.
But yeah, this seems like a pretty cool addition to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. I mean, it's great to see a new area in Warzone. I would say this update definitely makes me more excited for Warzone than the multiplayer itself. But teach their own.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's up with this raid. I was a big fan of Destiny, and so raids are a thing in Destiny, and you'd actually get, I believe, 6 people in a Destiny raid.
Mm.
So it said 3, and then it mentioned some other like NPCs. So I'm guessing you're gonna be kind of doing like maybe like a campaign mission with some NPCs. But I'm really interested to see how they do those because I absolutely loved Destiny, so that should be really fun.
I mean, we talked about it when we reviewed Modern Warfare 2 a few weeks back. I just think the amount of content that Activision has put into Call of Duty this year, it's really kind of astounding. I mean, there's a lot there if you want to do everything, the campaign, the multiplayer, Spec Ops, Little Bear, but I mean with everything else there, you got Warzone, you got the DMZ mode, now you have raids coming. There's just a lot. There is a lot of content in Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, for sure. I love DMZ, by the way. I spent a lot of time in there.
DMZ is a lot of fun. The problem is like again, I like to compete and get out there and win like Warzone. So I'm always leaning towards Warzone when we go to Al Mazrah. You know what I mean?
As
But
long as I have
DMZ,
people to play with, Warzone is my choice. But when I'm like solo, I can't do solo Warzone. I just can't.
yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, that's something you can look forward to on Wednesday the 14th. All right. Next up, Diablo 4, which was shown off at the Game Awards, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But it will release. The release will require crunch due to mismanagement. A report coming out of trying to figure out the original, the Washington Post. Blizzard's plan to release Diablo 4 on June 6th sound like it could be at the expense of its developers' health and well-being. According to a report from the Washington Post, a number of anonymous current and former Diablo 4 developers have said that without crunching or cutting features at launch date does not seem likely. Diablo 4 is set to launch on, all the consoles coming out. It's going to be coming to Game Pass. Um, Crunch in video game development, Jeff, has been a hot topic for years. Um, about overworking your developers. You want to put out a good quality product, and by making these guys crunch, it does hurt the quality of the product because you're wearing your workers out. Um,
Yeah.
it's a bummer to see. I'm hoping that Diablo 4 will still be good, but I think I'm always of the opinion if you need to delay a game, delay a game.
Exactly.
Treat the developers
100%.
right because you want them to be comfortable and be happy so that way they can do good work. I mean we all work. We all, most of us work. You want to be happy in your job. If you're miserable, you're not putting out good work. That's just the way it goes. Um, but I mean it's another reason why it's a good idea for Activision to not be independently run anymore. You
No,
can argue.
I completely agree with you, man. Instead of putting out a game that where you took some features away or a game that's not ready, just delay the game a little bit. You know what I mean? It's fine.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see how Diablo 4 shakes out. If is it going to make that June release date or not? I mean, we'll find out.
It looks like real quick with Call of Duty, it looks like they tried to push it out to get it ahead of the Game Awards so that they could be some nominated. And then as you guys will see later, you'll see how that went for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe Call of Duty. It used to launch in early November, but it has started launching in. It launched in late October the last few years, so it's
They
possible. I
did.
mean, I
They
don't
did
know.
do it like October, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll see. All right, next up, some news from Jeff's childhood, possibly.
The Atari?
Uh, huh?
I said the Atari?
No, not that. Oh man, later than that. I tried to give you some credit there. Final Fantasy 1 through 6 have been
Oh yeah.
rated by the ESRB for the Nintendo Switch and PS4. These 6 games were recently given a quote unquote pixel remaster on PC. A lot of fans, including myself, very upset that it did not come to consoles. But it seems like they may be, as I said, were given an ESRB rating. Jeff, do you have a lot of experience with those first 6 Final Fantasy games at all, or?
No, I think we talked about this either last week or a week before. I've played from 7 on.
Okay.
I have like very little experience with a couple of them where like I happened to be at a friend's house and I was like, "Oh wow, you have this? Let me check it out." But
Mhm.
nothing serious of playing any of 1 through 6, so I'm actually excited for that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I
We
mean,
should
I'm
do
actually
a
kind of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say we should do a playthrough of one of them together, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually am in a very similar boat to you, where seven was my first foray into Final Fantasy, and it was
Mhm.
actually I played seven like 4 years ago, 3 years ago during the
Nice.
pandemic. So that was the first time I played a Final Fantasy, and loved seven. I mean, obviously, I would set my expectations reasonably, knowing that seven is way better, based on what I've heard. But yeah, I'm really excited for these remasters. I'm hoping that they get a physical release, so that way they can go behind me on the wall. That would be really nice. Um,
Yeah.
but we will see. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Final Fantasy 1 through 6 coming to Switch, PS4. All right. Well, Jeff, unfortunately, we have another update news story here. Do you remember when we were talking about Yuji Naka, the designer of Sonic the Hedgehog, getting arrested for insider trading?
Yes, yes I do.
Okay, great. Well, he's been arrested for a second charge of
Huh.
insider trading. He was rearrested, this time involving the mobile battle royale title Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. Last month, Naka and former Square Enix employee Tezuki Sasaki were arrested on suspicion of buying shares in developer aiming after learning in advance about the team's announcement of its mobile game, Dragon Quest Tact. Japanese outlet Asahi now reports that Naka and Sasaki are believed to have tried a similar scheme for the reveal of Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which, for those that don't know, is a battle royale mobile game in the Final Fantasy VII Remake universe.
Did
Um,
you say for buying chairs?
shares,
Shims?
shares,
Oh,
SHM,
shares. Okay,
like
sorry.
shares in a company.
Gotcha, gotcha. It wasn't coming across right on Discord for some reason. I was like, "What?"
He's buying chairs. He's buying a bunch of folding chairs.
Yeah, I was
They're
like,
knock 'em up.
"What?"
No, but so Naka is reported to have purchased 120,000 shares for approximately 1.144.7 million yen, which is over roughly a million US dollars. Sasaki is accused of buying 91,000 shares, or $767,000. Um, yeah, not good. Not good.
Yeah, he
Not
probably didn't even make that much money off of that.
Probably not, because they're actually shutting down the Final Fantasy VII Soldier game in January. So no, he probably didn't. Um, yeah, that sucks. Moral of the story is do not commit blue collar crimes, Jeff.
Yeah, especially ones that can be obviously easily found by the government and, you know.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we talked about this last week, but it was officially announced. Riot Games and Xbox Game Pass benefits are out today, Monday, December 12th. I'm just going to kind of run through real quick everything that was announced that is now available if you are a Game Pass um, subscriber. So basically, in Valorant, you can unlock all current agents, access to every new agent as soon as they're released, and get a 20% match XP boost given to Battle Pass, Event Pass, and active agent contract progress. League of Legends, you unlock all 160 plus champions, including all new champions as they're released. You get a 20% XP boost. Um, excuse me. Legends of Runeterra get all cards in the Foundation set. Teamfight Tactics get a 1-star rare Little Legend Tacticians. 4 arena skins available until April 2023, and then 1 arena skin that's on a monthly rotation thereafter.
Real quick, did you say you get access to every League of Legends character?
It says 160 plus.
That's what I mean. So, how do you get that?
Jeff, all you have to do is be subscribed to Xbox Game Pass.
That's insane.
And that's just one of these games. So Valorant, League
Dude,
of
that's
Legends,
worth it right there. That's crazy.
and Jeff, I'm not even done. League of
That's over
Legends,
160 heroes in that game, dude.
yeah, I know. That's why it says 160 plus.
I'm just like blown away. I like had to. Oh my god,
No,
that's
I
crazy.
no, I know. And then lastly, League of Legends Wild Rift, which is coming in January. Unlocked benefits include all 80 plus champions, day one access to every new champion as they're released, and a 20% XP boost. Plus, as an added benefit for players that link their accounts, because basically the way it works is you link your Game Pass account to your Riot account, which I haven't done. That I don't really play any of these games, but I might check it out eventually. I mean, why not? It's the whole game for free. Um,
Yeah.
that's the great thing about Game Pass, though. You try games you probably normally wouldn't. Um, as an added benefit, if you link your account before January 1st, you get bonus rewards in every single game. You get a Pocket Sage Buddy in Valorant, a Masterwork Chest and Key in League of Legends, Little Legend Rare Egg in Teamfight Tactics, a random emote chest in Wild Rift, and a prismatic chest in Legends of Runeterra. Um, so yeah, I mean, we talk about I talk about this all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it. Like, you gotta get Game Pass. Like, and not you, Jeff. I mean, yes, you, but anybody. Like, it's such a ridiculously good deal. If you're playing on a PC or you have an Xbox, or you can get a Samsung TV and get the Game Pass app on the Samsung smart TVs now. Like, bro, it's so worth it. I can't even. I'm gonna keep saying it, but like, it's so worth the money.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy. Although I will give a shout out to PlayStation Plus right now. Their memberships are on sale, so you can get a 1 year premium, which is the highest tier, for like $90 right now for 1 year. Um, which service isn't great, but if you want to get it, I mean, you could. There's good games on there. They're not adding new games like that. Like, it's a good backlog. You know what I mean? Like, if you were in a coma for 10 years, right? And you wake up and you're like, I want to play video games. Like, it's a good deal. There's some good games on there. But anyways, last news story before we get into our next part of the show. Battlefield 4's producer is returning to DICE to lead up the franchise. Former Battlefield 4 producer David Sirlin is heading back to DICE to head up Battlefield. Announcing his return on Twitter, the former Battlefield producer revealed that he's leading the franchise following the turbulent launch of Battlefield 2042. David said, "Well, hello again, Battlefield community. I'm back. This time around, things are very different in a good way, and I'm super eager to make the future of Battlefield brighter and better than ever." Sirlin is best known for producing Battlefield 4, but has a long history with the franchise already. He began work on Battlefield in 2005 on Battlefield 2, in which case he went on to work on Bad Company. After exiting the company to pursue other projects, he returns with Battlefield 4, and then went on to produce Battlefield 1 and 5. What will his new role entail for the franchise? We'll find out eventually. So, Jeff, Battlefield, big fan of the last few Battlefield games, but not 2042. Very disappointing game. I was really hyped for Battlefield 2042 going into its launch. Unfortunately, the game was broken and just in general not very good. So to see kind of a stalwart of the franchise come back to lead it into the future, I think that's I'm hoping that that's a positive thing.
I'll admit I've been a Call of Duty fanboy for a long time, so I never checked out the Battlefield games. Although I did watch streamers play them heavily, like, Dr. Disrespect and those guys. I definitely watched them play the games, but I never, something about being a COD fanboy. I was kind of like, I can't buy that game. I'm sorry.
It's the gap isn't as different as it used to be. With Call of Duty now kind of having bigger maps and Warzone 2.0 being a thing,
Yeah.
and the ground war and the big team battles in Call of Duty, the gap is a lot smaller. But that being said, Battlefield has always been a really enjoyable franchise for me since I first played it. I'm not as much of a veteran as other Battlefield fans, so I don't want to like. My first Battlefield game, and it's such a simple Battlefield, but it was I think it was Battlefield 1943, and basically it was on the 360, Xbox 360. It came out. It was one of those early marketplace arcade titles, and it was very simple Battlefield. It was World War II, 3 maps. Like, the graphics weren't stellar, but for the time, I thought they were pretty damn good. And I fell in love with that game. Like, it was so simple. Like, there wasn't a lot of depth to it, and yet for somehow I played it for like a month and a half straight.
Oh,
Really good game. I also really enjoyed Battlefield 1. I thought Battlefield 1 was probably one of my more favorite games since. I've played Bad Company 3 and 4. I like all those games a lot. Hardline was fine. I mean, a lot of people don't like Hardline because it's kind of a departure from the franchise. But that being said, Battlefield's really good, except for the last one. Hopefully they can kind of get back on track here.
Yeah. I loved Medal of Honor way back in the day, like early PlayStation days. Oh,
Oh
that
yeah,
was my shit.
yeah, Medal of Honor's good. Anyways, as I've always said, Jeff, one of my hopes of this show is that we can kind of open you up more to more of the
Oh,
possibilities
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
are out there. But anyways, moving on. But that's it for the news this week, mainly because a lot of the news came out during the Game Awards. So we're going to be getting into that in a little bit. But first, Jeff, let's run through the game releases for this week, the week of December 12th, 2022.
Do it.
All right. First up, out today, Wavetail on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. We have Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, a remake of the old Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII game. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. This comes out tomorrow.
Okay.
Excuse me. Grease or Grizz. I know this game exists on other consoles, but it comes out on PS5 and Xbox Series consoles tomorrow. High on Life comes out exclusively to Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC tomorrow. This game is made by the studio headed up by Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty fame. Every time they've showed off this game, it's left me in just in tears how funny it is. Really looking forward to it. Launches on Game Pass day one, day and date tomorrow. Again, that's exclusive to Xbox consoles. Neon White comes out on PlayStation consoles tomorrow. That was already out on the Switch, but that was nominated for a few awards at the Game Awards, so that must be a really good game. Not Little, but Lil Gator Game comes out on Switch and PC tomorrow or December 14th. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt next gen or current gen editions come out on the 14th to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. AKA comes out on Switch and PC on the 15th. Blacktail comes out on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC on the 15th. And Resident Evil 7 Biohazard comes out on the Switch on December 16th. So, Jeff, two big things I'm really excited for this week. One of which I'm going to be purchasing this week, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Really excited for that. But I'm also really excited for High on Life. So this is a pretty good week for me, all things considered. Anything
Nice.
here that maybe catches your attention, your eye at
The
all?
Wit The Witcher, that's the Witcher 3 is being brought to the next gen consoles. Is that what that was?
Yeah, it's a free
Yeah.
update if you already own the game, or you can just purchase the game for PS5 and Series consoles.
Nice. Is it remastered or is that coming out later?
Uh, I don't. I don't know. I mean, it's technically remastered. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right.
upscaled. It runs on. It's optimized for current gen consoles. I know that they're also remaking the original Witcher, but that's not out yet. That's not.
Okay, okay. That's where I'm getting things crossed over here. Okay.
Gotcha. All right. So let's get into the topic of the show. Jeff, I'll let you decide because unfortunately I did not take notes. I just kind of recapped it later on. Do you want to go over the winners of the awards first, or do you want to go over the announcements first?
What do you mean by the announcements?
So like everything that was announced at the Game Awards, all the new trailers, all the new announcements of new
Yeah,
games.
let's start with that. Let's start with the announcements at the awards, and then we'll finish off with the award winners.
All right, sounds good. All right. So I'm just gonna kind of run through here. The recap that I have has some descriptions, but I do remember most of these, and I'll probably give my takes on some of them, maybe not all of them. So we got a announcement for Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. I've never really played Dead Cells. It's a Metroidvania roguelike. Um, I didn't really have a lot of interest in this, but the Castlevania stuff looked so cool, and I'm a big fan of I love Castlevania's music, and the way this trailer that they show off for this, like as someone who had no interest in Dead Cells, it just looked awesome. Um, but so I'm excited for that. We also had Valiant Hearts coming home. Valiant Hearts was introduced in 2014, emerging as a multi-platform emotional side scroller. And now Ubisoft revealed a mobile-first expansion to the franchise with Valiant Hearts coming home. I played the original Valiant Hearts. It's a really good game. Definitely recommend it.
Okay.
More of that is good, in my opinion. We also got Hellboy, Web of, I'm gonna say it's or Weird? Web of Weird.
Yeah, it's Web of Weird.
Okay.
So
Um, Good.
I wanted to talk to you about this one because I actually did see the preview for this. I'm a big time Hellboy fan, but I'm not liking the look of this game style, or like the art style, I guess it would be. Were you? What did you think? What did you think?
So originally when I was watching it, I actually thought it was a new Telltale game.
Okay.
Um, the art style really was reminiscent of The Wolf Among Us, which I don't know if you've played
Yeah.
that. But that was kind of I actually really thought it was The Wolf Among Us, the next one because they announced a new one earlier this year. And when you see the werewolf, the giant werewolf, I'm like, oh, it is The Wolf Among Us. Wow, it's Telltale. Cool, that's awesome. But then it ends up being Hellboy. I think that the art style is very akin to a comic book almost. It has a very cell shaded look.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to it. I think that if you're going for that cell shaded comic book look, which they clearly are, um, it's definitely an acquired taste in gaming. So I don't blame you if you're not super into it, but I think that this looks pretty true to the comics actually.
Okay. Okay.
But that's me. We
Yeah,
also have
I just
a
remember seeing it and I was like, this looks kind of weird. And then when I saw that it was Hellboy, I was like, I just kind of squinted. I was just like,
we
gave it
got
the
a
old Mr. Burns.
So we got a trailer for the Horizon VR game called Call of the Mountain. It's an expansion of the Horizon franchise, which will be on the PSVR 2 in 2023. Um, I'm on the fence about PSVR 2. I don't know if I'm getting it or not, like right away. Part of me really wants to
Man,
jump in and try it out, but that price tag, man, it's like $550 just for the VR. That's steep. That's really steep.
yeah. And, I've been waiting for a long time to get into VR till it was good enough to where I wouldn't get frustrated and, possibly like getting headaches and stuff. So I still don't know whether I'll actually be able to do it, but I've really wanted to start getting into some VR stuff, and that game looks incredible.
It really does. Yeah. Yeah, the game itself looks awesome. I mean, like if you're getting PSVR 2, you're going to be happy with this game. I think this game is going to be really good. The Horizon franchise has been phenomenal up to this point, so I think that that game is going to do very well. In terms of as far as the VR niche will take them. I mean, I'm still very curious to see how successful PSVR 2 is going to be. I feel like in gaming, VR is really kind of like people are trying to push VR because VR is really cool. I've done VR experiences before, and they are very very awesome. Um, I haven't had one at home yet though, like a VR at home experience.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm very intrigued and I'm really interested in it. I just don't know if $550. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger yet or not. We will find out. I got to see if like I can pre-order it at GameStop where I can just kind of like every few weeks walk in and just drop like $20 and be like put it in $20, $20, 20.
Right, right. Like a layaway program type thing.
GameStop usually does that, but I haven't heard about pre-orders going up for GameStop, just PlayStation like directly.
So I have noticed on Amazon they've been offering me a lot lately payment plans on certain stuff, so that might be an option. I might actually look into that.
That's not a bad idea. Anyways, moving on, we also got Post Trauma, which was kind of like a Silent Hill, classic Resident Evil looking type game. Trailer didn't give us much, but it looks interesting. I'm definitely very interested in Post Trauma.
Me know likey scary games.
I'm like I don't mind scary games as long as they don't overdo the jump scares. Like give
That's
me
what I mean. Jump scares just piss me off.
I want atmospheric scary. And like I don't mind a few jump scares because you need to have some, but
Yeah.
like scare me with your atmosphere. Don't scare me with like a thing just popping out on the screen right away.
Yep.
Anyways,
Like Michael Myers, man. He scares you just because of who he is. He doesn't have to pop out of nowhere.
right. Um got a little trailer for Viewfinder, which is like a little puzzle game, fuses attractive environments with mind-bending mechanics. This game looked really cool. I was watching it with my buddy D, and he was just we were like we felt like the developers like just got like super stoned one night, and it was like, what if you could like take a picture and make the picture part of your surroundings? And the game looks really cool. But that's what it made me think of, which I thought was funny. We got a announcement. It wasn't an announcement; it was a trailer because it was previously announced for a game called Scars Above. It's a space Scars Above. Sorry, it's a space-based third-person adventure game with a little bit of puzzle solving. Looks grim and morbid, but I'm intrigued on this one. I think this one looks pretty good. Um, Also got a trailer for Relic Hunter's Legend, a four-person multiplayer arena title which promises no holds barred action, loot, and a huge arsenal of weapons to use in fast-paced combat. Among
Sounds
Us showed
interesting.
off their hide and seek update, which is a new mode, not a whole new game, but it's a new mode in Among Us, and it launched on the 9th. Um, I'm excited. Like I'm happy for them. I really just need Among Us to have in-game chat.
Right? See, I want proximity chat like in COD, man. Let me talk
Or
shit to
that, yeah,
people.
or that too. But well, I mean, that's what I mean because it that's how it works usually. But I need to be able to turn on Among Us on my Xbox because it's on Game Pass. I just need to be able to turn it on, sit down with my headset, and everyone in the game can talk to each other, and that doesn't exist yet. You need to
That's a
have a
lot
whole.
though. How many people are there at the beginning?
I think it. Well, I mean, it could be up to it could be from 4 to 12. It's not bad.
Oh, okay. I thought they started off with like 60, 70 people, isn't it?
In Among Us?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm thinking of what's that one where everybody's just running that goofy game with all the skins? Uh
You lost me.
the obstacle game where you got to run straight forward and you got to.
Fall Guys. You're thinking
Yeah,
Fall
Fall
Guys.
Guys. I was thinking of Fall Guys. I was like, man, imagine if that had like 80 people talking at the beginning. I'd be like,
No,
ah.
no, no, no. I'm talking about Among Us. When you with
Yeah,
the imposters. Yeah.
that definitely needs chat, and it needs to be proximity too.
Right.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Anyways, new game was showed off called After Us. Kind of looked like a cinematic type game where you were they were kind of wandering through a wasteland. It looked pretty cool. I would definitely be interested in that. Got a trailer for, and I know you said this in the Discord, Replace, which is a post-apocalyptic adventure, which was announced previously at, I believe, Xbox's E3 Summer Showcase. Not this past June, but the year before. This game just looks really incredible. The art style is really aesthetically pleasing. It's kind of but it's grungy and dark and a 2D sprite based. Coming day one to Game Pass, but I'm really excited for Replace. And I know you said that you were excited for this game as well when
It
you
looks good. It
it
looks
looks
really
really
good.
good. Got a title for or I'm sorry, a trailer for Street Fighter 6. Showed it off. I believe it revealed its release date for June 6th at the Game Awards. Um, I think it looks good. I was more interested in a fighting game that was shown off later in the night, which we'll get to. Hades 2 was announced. Hades, the original, was an award-winning roguelike. A lot of people loved it. I believe it even won the Game Awards Game of the Year back when it came out. I think.
Okay.
Uh, Next up, one of the most exciting announcements of the night for me personally. Actually, the next two were kind of two big ones for me. First up was Judas, which came from Ken Levine, who created Bioshock. Jeff, you ever play Bioshock?
Remember I was saying I've watched the wife play both the first one and the second one.
Gotcha.
So yes, I've seen some of the BioShock. I kind of sat with her while she played.
Gotcha. So I love Bioshock. Just absolutely love it. Love all three of them. Specifically the first two. But so this is Judas coming from his studio. Ken Levine left 2K to form this studio, and they've been working on Judas for years at this point. Glad to see it's kind of starting to take shape. This trailer was really cool. I definitely recommend people go checking it out. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Ken Levine's next game. But Judas screamed Bioshock 2, and I think that's what I really liked about it because I want a new Bioshock game, and it just seems like a Bioshock game. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it. Next up, we had a really surprising announcement: Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon. Um, this game will be coming out in March, exclusively on the Switch. And it's a deep dive into the origins of Bayonetta, which I mean, this game announcement completely caught me off guard. I had no idea that they were going to I was so shocked that they were making this game. Bayonetta 3 just came out end of October, so 2 months ago at this point. And just man, the fact that they're going to make this is something I'm extremely interested in. I love Bayonetta, and to get like an origin story about Bayonetta. I don't want to go too spoilery on it, but I'm very excited for this game.
Yeah, especially on a next gen console, it's gonna be so good.
Well, it's coming to Switch.
Better be.
It's coming in, yeah, so it's coming to Switch. So we'll have
Still,
to see.
that's still next gen to me.
Jeff, the Switch has been out for 5+ years.
What console did the first Bayonetta come out on?
The first Bayonetta was out on the 360 and PS3, and then they were going to retire the franchise, in which case Nintendo stepped in and they didn't purchase the IP, but they basically said like, "Hey, we're going to fund Bayonetta, and it's going to be a Nintendo exclusive moving forward."
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So like this will be compared to the first one, it'll be on a next gen, like, or not the current next gen, but you see what I'm saying. I know.
So Jeff, you have to get into the mindset, and I understand you have a PS4. I need you to get into the mindset for the sake of your confusion, my confusion, and the viewers' confusion. Current gen consoles are currently PS5, the Xbox Series consoles, and the Switch.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Anyways, moving forward. We got a VR title revealed, Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord. This game looked like a lot of fun. It was kind of like a 4-player co-op VR game.
Yeah.
You play as Ghostbusters. I mean, what more can you say? It looked pretty
I was
cool.
about to say the same thing.
Something you would be excited for here. We got a tease for Destiny 2 Lightfall. It's an expansion. Players travel to Neptune.
Okay.
Don't know much more about that. Next up, we got another video package. Acting like it's the wrestling podcast.
Right.
The trailer for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. A trailer that I was not expecting to make me kind of emotional. Basically, it was a really funny at first, but then they're clearly being hunted by Batman, who it was revealed in the trailer will be voiced for one final time by Kevin Conroy. He recorded the lines for this game before he passed last month. And so, yeah, I mean, I didn't realize, like, I didn't even think about that Batman would be in this game and that they would get Kevin Conroy to do it. Because they kind of, I don't know, I just didn't put two and two together on it. And it was a really cool moment because it was just
so that's going to be his final work, huh?
Yeah, it's his final work as Batman, or really, period. So I was already really looking forward to this game, and now I'm extremely excited for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. It's actually funny, but they announced the release date as well, but people were so caught up on the whole Kevin Conroy thing. It comes out in May 23rd, I believe, of this year, of 2023, or the 26th. It's one of the two. But yeah, Kevin Conroy's last game. Following that, we got the first reveal of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is a follow-up to Jedi Fallen Order. You're playing as Cal Kestis again. Looked really incredible. This game just looks so awesome. I'm so excited for it. Jeff, we have a topic for the show coming up in a few weeks, so probably the last topic of the year. Previewing 2023, and like this year is just coming up is just so ridiculously stacked. And you're going to see it with Jedi Survivor as well. Really excited for that game.
Yeah, me too.
All right, next up we had a little video for Party Animals. This is kind of like a Gang Beasts type game, if you've played that. Kind of like a bunch of goofy animal-esque fighters, just like kind of flailing their arm around. It's cool. Good fun. I think that's coming to Game Pass too, I think. Following that, we got an announcement from the studio that brought us Celeste, which was a huge indie release a few years back. Earthblade, which is kind of like a 2D exploring action-y kind of game. Looks really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the genre, but man, that title and like the title card that they had for it, Earthblade, like that's a cool name for a game.
Yeah, it is.
After that, Hideo Kojima came out and they announced Death Stranding 2. Kojima said that he had actually rewrote the whole game because of the pandemic. So that'll be an interesting game to go through. He said he had the entire second game script written down, and then the pandemic hit, and he just threw that script down and wrote another script.
I wonder if his script was a little too close to what happened.
I think maybe that's definitely possible. Part of me wonders if maybe he wanted it to be more like the pandemic. So
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So if it's a lot like the pandemic, then maybe he wanted to change it to be like it. But if it's not, I bet you he almost nailed it, and he was like, "Yo, we gotta change this."
yeah. um, Next up we got Immortals of Avium. Looked like a kind of like a single player magic-y shooter. Looked cool. It's coming from EA Originals, so that's good. The Last of Us Part One got a PC port announced, and then we got our first look at Tekken 8, which I thought this game looked much more pleasing to the eye than Street Fighter 6. It was funny because I was talking to D about it when we were watching the Game Awards, and he was just like, "Oh, Street Fighter 6 looks amazing." I'm like, "It looks good. I'm sure the gameplay is going to be really smooth and great." But I don't think Street Fighter 6 looks super like aesthetically pleasing to look at. Whereas like I'm looking at this trailer for Tekken 8, like when I'm watching the Game Awards, and I'm so excited for this game. This game looks like, I'm not a fighting guy, but this looked like a really like just beautiful game.
Yeah, I'm a massive Tekken fan. I wound up winning like a small Tekken tournament at the MGM Grand when I was a little kid. In the arcade at the MGM, they used to have this massive arcade. I don't know if it's still there. Haven't been there in a while. They replaced about a third of the machines in the arcade. All of it was with Tekken 2. And we held like this weird little tournament where everybody that was there just got to play. And dude, I smashed everybody with Harong. Harong was my shit. And I got to the finals and I perfected the dude in the finals. I hit him with the Harong's like ultimate power move. I don't even remember what it's called, but it takes forever for him to do. And
Right.
the dude just stood there and I blasted him. It was great.
All right. Well, we're getting down this list. So let's see. Nightingale, which was showed off last year. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what this game is. It looked like a kind of like a realm traveling, monster hunting survival game, but you're like also like building like a base. Like I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what this game is yet, but it looked intriguing. Um, Wayfinder was announced, invites players to control the chaos, offering them a multiplayer platform upon which to slay out, secure loot, and use a range of hero characters to defeat the forces of intense darkness. Um, Wayfinder. That's when I was watching. I was joking with my friend that like I feel like they announced this game every year. Obviously not Wayfinder, but it just looks like that kind of game where it's like a third person squad based. Like I don't know. It just looked very kind of similar. I don't know. I wasn't too excited about it. Sky, we got a video for a game called Sky, continuing on the universe last experienced in Journey. Sky sees players become creatures of light, exploring realms and experiencing an artistic, emotional world with friends. Um,
Yo, real quick, my brother just texted me and he said it was Tekken 4, you idiot. So it was Tekken 4.
Appreciate for your brother listening to the pod. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he doesn't have like YouTube accounts or anything, but he's listening.
Appreciate that, man. Anyways, so Sky, it seemed kind of interesting because it seemed like the idea of it is like it's more of a platform than a game. So like in this trailer, they had an artist named Aurora who was going to be performing following the Game Awards, and basically you play at like in the like venue experiencing the performance and you react in the game. It seemed more of like a platform than a game itself. Um, I think that that's a very interesting platform. Like I don't know how they keep that moving. Like how like it because I guess it launched after the Game Awards. Like, do you just have somebody performing at all times of the day? Like how does that? I don't know how it works, but
Yeah,
uh,
that'd be weird.
it is very interesting. Following that, we got a video for Diablo 4, and this game just looks incredible. Like I know we talked earlier about uh, possible crunch and all that. I'm hoping that the developers can take care of themselves as much as they can. But at the same time, these developers look like they're killing it, man. Like every time we see this game, it impresses and it looks really good.
So, question for you though. So,
Mhm.
does it seem oddly similar to like well, that sounds like a weird way to put it. A lot of people are saying that it seems like it's very very close to being like Diablo 3 or Diablo Immortal just kind of brought to the console, or brought up.
Um, I
I
mean,
haven't played them,
I
so I don't know.
okay. Oh, I didn't play Immortal. I played a little bit of Diablo 3. Not a lot though. When it came to console, I played a little bit.
Okay.
Um, I think that maybe it's just the dungeon crawler genre. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't speak on it too much because I don't have a lot of experience with Immortals, except for all the bad press I remember reading about it.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I mean, from what I'm looking at, the game looks great. It's coming to Game
It
Pass.
does look good.
It's coming to Game
And
Pass on June 6th when it releases. So I mean, I'm cool with
yeah.
it, man.
And I'm thinking they just haven't released enough gameplay yet for you to see the innovation that's there. They're gonna let some streamers show you that stuff on release day.
Yeah, definitely. Um, all right, next up we had Horizon showed up again at the show, getting an announcement for an expansion, the Forbidden West expansion, Burning Shores. We'll have Aloy traveling to Los Angeles, um, and the trailer had a huge robot destroying the Hollywood sign. So I'm excited for that.
Yo, what up, Ryzik? Ryzik says they took the best of Diablo 2 and 3. Okay, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, what's up, Isaac? But like he said, they've taken the best of those games. So I mean, I don't know. I'm down for it. I'm excited. I think the game looks really good, and I'm pleased with it. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
I thought it looked good as well.
Next up, we had a announcement for a game called Blue Protocol. It's a new MMORPG launching in 2023 with developers Bandai Namco, bringing players into a post-apocalyptic world in the midst of it being rebuilt. Looks amazing. I don't know if I have enough time in my life for an MMORPG, but this game looked extremely interesting. Like I'm very interested in this game.
What was it called again?
Blue Protocol.
Okay, Blue Pro. Yeah, I've actually seen some stuff for this. That looks really good as well.
It does. It looks really clean and smooth. Like
Yeah.
the animation alone just looks phenomenal. So I don't know. All right. We also had Remnant 2 was announced. Not much more other than, it's coming. Company of Heroes 3 is coming to consoles in February. We got a VR title announced, Behemoth, promoting a grisly and ominous first-person adventure set in a mystical, monster-ridden world. And then next we got I'm really interested in this one. It's called Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden. So basically, this is being made by the developers of Life is Strange. Um, and they're teaming up with another team who's I forget their name. I don't have it here on my list. But basically, it's an all new cinematic action RPG title where players take the role of a banisher, which it seems like they're trying to get rid of like evil spirits that are in the world.
Okay.
This reveal trailer just looked really fascinating to me, and I'm like the gameplay, the brief gameplay that we saw. It seems like my kind of thing. It looks like an action RPG, action adventure kind of game. Um, and the makers of Life is Strange, Don't Nod, are extremely good at narrative. So I have high hopes that this game is going to really impress when it comes out.
All right.
Also got a trailer for Space Marine 2, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Looked
That
good.
looks good.
It looks very good. Got a trailer for Meet Your Maker. It flips the roguelike genre on its head, giving players the ability to assume the role of the character, forcing hapless individuals through their rinse and repeat cycle of death and attempting to survive in order to succeed. It seemed like a kind of like you're making your own levels and people have to try and get through them kind of game. Which I mean,
Okay.
cool
Okay.
premise. Cool premise. Um, we got an announcement for a new Crash Bandicoot game, but unfortunately, at least for me, it's unfortunately, it seems more like a MOBA. Crash Team Rumble is the name of the game. Um,
Ah.
it looks it's a team-based combat game. A little disappointed by the announcement itself, especially because the leading up to the announcement was really cool. So you remember the old commercials with Crash Bandicoot when they had the guy in the suit?
Yeah.
So they actually brought that guy in the suit back, and they had him like
Nice.
rappel into the Game Awards, and like you're thinking like, oh my god, we're getting a new Crash game, and like they have like the guy in the Crash suit being like he was pretty funny, and then they're like here it is, and it's like oh, it's not a like a legit Crash game, it's just
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so I mean, like it looks for what it is. Like the art style was good. It seemed pretty smooth, but it's just not a game that interests me really at all. So
Yeah.
what can you do? Um, Next game was interesting. Crime Boss, Rockay City. Um, I would have. I was joking with my friend when we were watching this. It really just felt like GTA Vice City. Um,
Yeah.
but with like a really like they really have like an all-star cast. Like Chuck Norris is in this game, Danny Glover's in this game. There are so many people in this game, and it's like it's a crime-ridden like Miami like city in the 90s. It is a first-person game though, so it's not like completely like GTA, but like that was just the vibe it was giving off. Was very kind of like we're in Vice City kind of thing. So it looks really interesting, and we'll see. I want to see more of it before I make a
Yeah, I
call.
want to see more of that too. I got to figure out what's up with Chuck Norris, man.
Yeah, I was like, they were like naming all these casts, and I'm like, holy shit, they have all these people. And then it was like, and Chuck Norris. I'm like, you guys got Chuck
Yeah.
fucking Norris to do this? Like,
Yeah,
holy
so
crap.
at work we have to use Microsoft Teams to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And everybody has a picture of themselves, right? And I
Mhm.
have a picture of Chuck Norris. So everybody laughs as soon as they get on the call with me. It's great.
That's funny. All right. Let's see. Lords
Such
of
a
the
nerd.
Fallen, reboot of Lords of the Fallen. I got a trailer for that. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. So this is a cyberpunk, an expansion to Cyberpunk 2077, called Phantom Liberty. It's going to be starring Idris Elba. Looked very interesting. I still need to play the first, like the actual base game. I was waiting for a lot of the updates to come out, so I gotta go back into the backlog to play it. But this expansion looked really good. So
Yeah, and I've heard they fixed all the bugs and everything. I've heard the game's running great now. So if you ever wanted to play Cyberpunk, now's probably the time.
yeah, definitely. Next up, we got an announcement that I was not expecting, but I'm also like really excited for just because of how good the reveal trailer was. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. So Jeff, have you played Armored Core at all?
I think so. It's the side scroller with the little dudes with grenades and guns, right?
No, you're thinking of Metal Slug.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm thinking of.
Armored Core is an old like mech game. I used to play it on the PS2. We haven't really gotten one in like a long time. I think it's like been like 10 years. But this trailer looked incredible. Like Jeff, I really recommend you check out this trailer. Like this is one of those trailers of the game. Like, did you go back and watch? I know you said you watched some of it. Did you get to finish at the Game Awards?
I did not know.
Okay, I recommend you kind of seek out some of these trailers, and
Okay.
especially this one. This one's really good. It's from Software, the guys who made Elden Ring. Um, Miyazaki did come out since the Game Awards and assure people that if you're not into Soulsborne games, this will not be that. This is more. This is an Armored Core game. This is about making your mechs and going out on missions and doing the missions. Um, but this game just looked really cool. It was a really cool announced trailer.
Yeah, that's cool. When I was a kid, I don't know the name of the game, but I had a game on PC where you had to build a big mech and you would go one on one with other people in like an arena setting. And I wound up getting into first place, and it was against like real people. There was like there was like a list of 100, and like the more you played, the higher you would climb on the ladder. You'd get points for winning matches and stuff. I wound up hitting first place, and then I kind of quit. I was like, "That's it, I'm done. I hit first."
Nice, nice. Um, we got an announcement for Wild Hearts, which kind of looks like Monster Hunter a little bit. Looks good. And then we got Final Fantasy 16. We got a gameplay trailer for it, and it will be launching exclusively in 2023 on PlayStation 5. I believe they gave a release date, but I don't have it on me. Um, and so those were the game announcements at the Game Awards. Not mentioned on this list was we got clip, the first clip of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Um, this movie looks really good, Jeff. I don't know if you
It
saw the
definitely does.
I was blown away by specifically the music of the clip. So they show Mario and Toad walking through this town to get to Peach's castle, and the music was so seamlessly and perfectly changing from game to game. Like I can't remember which Mario. I think it was doing Super Mario Brothers 3, something from Mario Brothers 3, and then it just very smoothly transitions into like Bomb on Battlefield's music from Mario 64. And when
Yeah.
they did that, I was like, I love like that really pulled at the heartstrings, that bit of the music. I was like, wow, that's really awesome. And there was a lot more to this clip, so I definitely recommend people going and checking that out.
I can't wait for that movie. I'm actually gonna go back to the theaters for that one for sure.
Yeah. Check it back on the chat. Looks like Rizik also said make sure you play it Diablo 4 on a new gen console or PC. I would definitely concur with that. I think we're kind of at a point with video games in this generation where, no offense, Jeff, you gotta get off the PS4 and Xbox One. Like you gotta get on the newer consoles because these games are gonna start struggling. If a developer puts games out on the PS4, Xbox One, those games are gonna struggle. Yeah, and we're already seeing it. You've had way more issues with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 than I did
Yeah.
or have. But so yes, Rizik is definitely correct on that. All right. Let's run through the winners of the Game Awards. So we went through all the announcements, a lot of fun stuff there. Um, let's run through the winners.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see here. All right, so best adaptation. This is celebrating game-inspired projects across entertainment, including TV, movies, comics, and more. The winner was Arcane, League of Legends. Best
Nice.
esports team was Loud from Valorant. Best esports game was Valorant. The best esports event was the 2022 League of Legends World Championship. The best esports coach was Bazooka for Loud. Um, best esports athlete was Ye. The content creator of the year was Ludwig. Best multiplayer game. This one really surprised me, Jeff. So best multiplayer game was Splatoon 3. Ended up winning.
Yeah, that
It
surprised the crap out of me.
It beat Modern Warfare 2, Overwatch 2, Multiverses, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I'm not super surprised because Splatoon is really good, really strong franchise. I haven't played the newest one, but Modern Warfare 2 was a really good game, so it was quite an upset in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, we had Best Sim Strategy Game, and Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope won that game. No surprise there. Best Sports Racing Game, Gran Turismo 7 picked up the win on that one. Best Family Game. I was definitely surprised by the winner, but happily surprised because Kirby and the Forgotten Land ends up winning this. It beat out Lego Star Wars, Mario and Rabbids, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, phenomenal game. If you have a Switch, I strongly recommend playing this game.
Love me some Kirby.
Multiverses won Best Fighting Game. Again, I thought that was a good call there. Elden Ring won Best RPG, and this beat out games that I really love this year. This beat Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy 3, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Not super surprised considering something that comes up later on, but this does end up winning Best RPG. Best action adventure game was the winner was God of War Ragnarok, and it beat out A Plague Tale Requiem, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. Um, Basically, Elden Ring and God of War end up really kind of sweeping the awards a little bit.
Yeah.
But best action game, Bayonetta 3 was the winner of that, and it beat out Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I'm really excited to play Bayonetta 3. I haven't played it yet. I definitely need to play it before Origins comes out, so I'll definitely be playing that probably within the next month or so. Um, the Innovation in Accessibility Award was won by God of War Ragnarok.
Yep.
Best VR game was won by Moss Book 2. I was surprised that Among Us VR did not win. I really want to play Among Us in VR. The clips I see online are just
Dude,
really fun looking.
I'll probably be scared to death in Among Us online. Run into a wall in my house or something.
And I've seen a lot of videos with people like trolling kids. So like the videos that I've been seeing online, they're like, "Hey, come here, I want to show you something," and then he vents right in front of the kid, and then the kid's like, "Oh," he's like freaking out. And then like he goes and hits the button, and the guy that vented was like, "It was the kid." I saw him vent, and then they vote the kid out. And in one of the videos, the kid was like crying, and I was like, "Oof."
Oh,
But I mean, what can you do? Still really funny. Look, I really want to play Among Us in VR. Best community support was Final Fantasy 14 Online. Best mobile game was Marvel Snap, which I saw coming. I thought that was. I've heard a lot of good things about Marvel Snap, so I was not surprised by that one. Best debut indie game and best indie game, Stray won both of those awards. Very
Yeah.
similar nominations there. Best ongoing game, Final Fantasy 14 won that one. Games for Impact, As Dusk Falls did get that award, so good for them. That's a great game. Played that this year. Best performance, Christopher Judge, Kratos of God of War Ragnarok won that
Yeah.
award. Really awesome speech from him. You could tell that winning the award meant a lot to him.
Yeah, he put a lot of effort into that voice for that guy, and it definitely shows. He put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. Next up, best audio design. God of War Ragnarok picked up the win on that one as well. Won the award, beating out Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. Jeff, not a good night for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, a game that was very good, but did not win any of the awards it was nominated for.
I'll definitely say one thing. It didn't even deserve to be nominated for audio. This audio is horrendous.
I mean, I haven't had a lot of issues with the audio, but I mean, I understand. Best score in music, God of War also won that one. Bear McCreary, excuse me, was the winner of the award. He was the music. He did the score. Best art direction, Elden Ring won a best art direction. Best narrative, God of War Ragnarok, which again you can see a little bit of a trend here. Best game direction, Elden Ring. They're just trading them off at this point. And then the last two awards, Jeff. Game of the Year. The nominees were A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The winner of the award was Elden Ring. So Elden Ring is the Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Yeah, congrats to the Elden Ring team, man. That game was amazing. The artwork is incredible. Everything about that game. I didn't play it per se. I don't do very well in those Souls types games, but I love watching them and watching all the streamers play. I must have watched at least 4 or 5, maybe even 6 or 7 playthroughs.
Yeah, I definitely want to get around to playing it. I'm kind of similar to you, a little weird, like kind of cautious about jumping into a Soulsborne game, but I mean, a lot of people seem to love the game. So I really want to kind of give it a shot. I don't know when I will, but at some point, maybe soon.
I'm terrible at those dodge, roll, parry. I'm not. I can't. No.
Yeah, I mean, they're difficult. They're definitely challenging. But I mean, they say get good.
Yep.
Let's see. Rizek said that's because Elden Ring changed the open world concept. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Elden Ring, very popular game, and just its open world was something that a lot of people did tell me about. So yeah, I mean, definitely interesting stuff there.
Some of the scenes where you can just go up to the edge of a cliff and just look out for miles is just unbelievable. It's gorgeous.
All right, so before we get to the last award, I do want to kind of touch on the thing that closed out the show. You heard about this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, watching the award, the Game of the Year award, and Elden Ring wins. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because the kid's a clown, and you should definitely not do this. Rizek said they made this game more for the casual player. That's good to hear. I do have to check out Elden Ring. I really do want to. Anyways, so
I think he's talking about COD.
The team. Oh, was he talking about COD?
I think so.
I thought we were talking about. I think he might be talking about. Rizek, go ahead and clarify that. I think you're talking about Elden Ring because that's what we were just talking about. Anyways, so Elden Ring wins, and the team goes to accept the award and give a speech. And I noticed that like the team came from like the left side of the stage, and like this kid comes up from the center, and like nobody stops him, and he walks up there, and like they start giving the speeches, and he's in the background, and like he keeps like constantly moving around to get into the shot, and I'm like, who the fuck is this kid, right? And so it turns out that the kid was not part of the studio. He was not there with them. He snuck on stage. After the team gave their acceptance speech and they were really happy about it, a kid jumped on the mic shouting out Bill Clinton, um, which
So
was
he said, "I want to
yeah,
I want to donate this award to my revised, or what did he say? Yeah, revised
Orthodox rabbi.
Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton."
Yeah, and so Jeff Keighley said that the kid was arrested. He was taken off the stage.
Yep.
Um, it was funny for a little bit. I mean, the memes afterwards are kind of funny, but don't do this. It's such a bad idea.
No.
This kid got arrested. He got
Listen.
charged. It's not worth it, and it's not fair to Miyazaki and his team. Like they worked super hard on Elden Ring, and like
Exactly.
Elden Ring,
That's what I was gonna say.
like these guys busted their ass to bring us this awesome game that this kid who knows about the Game Awards most likely played and probably enjoyed. And you know what I
He's a
mean? Like,
YouTuber. I'm not gonna give you his name because I don't want to, advertise for him. But he's a YouTuber. Like
right.
he does
It,
this to other game awards too. Apparently, he's a habitual interrupter.
it's a shame. You hate to see it. I mean, Game Awards, they might have to bump up their security next year, unfortunately.
Yeah,
You got to make sure, because let alone we're talking about them ruining the moment. It could have been a huge safety concern as well. Um,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? Like, it's an unfortunate thing, and I understand why Jeff Keighley it wasn't a necessity before this, but it'll probably be a necessity moving forward, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's just like I get. Let's say he was protesting in his own way, whatever he wants to say, because I do believe that's what he told the police, and that's why they kind of let him go. They kind of had to. He was detained. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, don't ruin somebody else's night or year, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
at your stupid little joke expense. Like these guys worked their asses off for years to make this game. It
right.
wins game of the year and then you come out here and you ruin it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. That's
Yeah,
not
like
cool.
that moment for them is ruined forever. Like you can't get that back. Um, and it's a shame. It's really sad to see. Don't do it. Just don't do
They're lucky this ain't wrestling back in the 80s, man. They would have took his ass backstage and beat the piss out of him.
it. Part of me wonders if maybe they almost did anyway. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
like Jeff Keighley took him backstage and started punching him.
I was just picturing someone punch him in the stomach like Mario and Luigi holding him up. Just pow.
Right, right. All right. So last award, the most anticipated game for 2023 award. The nominees were Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh,
Jeffrey Vegas.
I don't
Huh?
know who won this.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I don't know who won this actually.
Who do you think won?
Well, considering that you saved it for last, I'm guessing that the Legend of Zelda game won.
You would be correct. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the
Nice.
Kingdom was voted as the most anticipated game. All of these games I'm extremely excited for, and these aren't even all the games. Like these aren't even. I don't even know if I would argue that I don't even know if I would argue Hogwarts Legacy is like one of the biggest games coming out next year. It's a huge year, and we're going to talk about it in a few weeks.
I'm
But yeah,
super excited for Hogwarts Legacy. I'll tell you that much.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm excited for it too, but there is just so many big games coming out next year that I'm sure there's stuff we don't even know about yet. Um,
You know, after we and the wives had gone to the Harry Potter exhibit, at the Franklin Institute there, I have like a renewed passion for Harry Potter, man. I rewatched all the movies since then. Like there's a shop that we go to. They
yeah.
sell wands and stuff, and like I'm waiting for the cool wands to come out.
Oh yeah, Harry Potter. Harry Potter's cool, man.
I'm such a nerd.
Um, but anyway, so yeah, that was the Game Awards. Jeff, what are you playing right now? You playing Warzone 2 still?
I am still playing Warzone 2, and as much as I like to complain about it, I am doing exceptionally well in this one. Uh, so I can't wait for the stats for Warzone to start coming out, and start from fresh because I'm consistently getting at least 4 or 5 right now.
Nice, nice. Right now, I'm kind of doing the same. I am playing Warzone 2 right now still, but I am working on completing my Pokedex for Scarlet. I have about 95 more Pokemon to go before I am
Woo,
done. Um, so working
good
my way
work.
through that, grinding my way through Pokemon Scarlet to finish out the Pokedex, finish out strong. Um, But yeah, I mean, right now that's kind of what I'm working on.
Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, so all I'm doing is Warzone 2. The wife keeps trying to get me to go back to the Overwatch 2. I just, something about it just doesn't feel right anymore, and I'm just, not really interested. Just all about that. I love DMZ too, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, DMZ is freaking awesome. I love spending time in there.
Yeah,
I pretty much
definitely.
run around in DMZ till it kicks me out.
All right, Jeff. Well, that's all I have for us tonight. Do you have anything you wanted to mention, talk about, or anything like that?
Nah, you hit the one little thing I wanted to talk about there. Actually, there was one game that I was wondering if you mentioned this, I may have missed it. But it was called Lords of the Fallen. I just saw a preview for that a couple days ago on the PlayStation. It looks like a Dark Souls types game. Have you seen this?
I think it was shown at the Game Awards, and I think I mentioned it.
Okay, okay.
I
This
think, but not
looks
100% sure. There was a lot of sound.
beautiful. Looks like another one of those just absolutely gorgeous art. Lords of the Fallen. Maybe I'll link it in the Discord after the pod here.
Yeah, definitely. Please do. I'll definitely check it out. Well, all right then, Jeff. Go ahead and take us out.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us here on YouTube tonight. We appreciate everybody in chat. We had Coach Nick, Ryzik, the Day Trading Doge. What up, Doge? I love that name. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Thank you everybody as well who will be listening later on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Google, or wherever you may get your podcasts. Thank you guys very much for joining us. And until next time, everybody have a great night. Peace.